You're listening to the Radical Transformation Speaker Salon, hosted by Nicole Harlow. 4 days worth of transformational interviews, meditation, and surprises designed to rock your world and change your life. Your year of soul discovery and wild metamorphosis starts today.
Hey everyone, Nicole Harlow here, and welcome to day 1 of the Speaker Salon. I'm so excited that you're here with us, and just wanted to introduce one of today's guests, Cordelia Francesca Brabbs. Cordelia and I had an awesome conversation. We actually were talking for almost 3 hours. A lot of that's been edited down. We were having a kind of one-on-one get-to-know-you session before we even got down into the interview. So there's so much good stuff here. And I was really excited to meet Cordelia, and we just, got on like so well. She works with something called the Diamond Light, and you'll see at the end of this interview, she's actually going to be guiding us through a Diamond Light meditation. And you can even go over to her website. And let's see where it is. So if you want to go over to rememberyourmagic.com/free gift, that's free-gift. So rememberyourmagic.com/free-gift. And this link will also be on the page for day 1 and the email that you'll receive here. So she wants to send over a free gift for you guys, and it's her Reclaim Your Power MP3 meditation, which helps magical women call back in all the power that they've ever lost, forgotten, given away, or has been taken for them throughout all lifetimes. It's a gorgeous and powerful 25-minute journey set to soothing music, so I'll definitely be doing that myself today and grabbing the free gift. But I just want to tell you a little bit about Cordelia before we hop into the interview. So she's been working with energy and healing modalities for over 13 years. After reaching rock bottom as a journalist, living a stressful, alcohol-fueled life in her 20s, she had a wake-up call and got the hell out of there. Went freelance and was magically guided to write some articles on alternative therapies. Now she remembers the feeling after receiving her first Reiki treatment. It was like a light got switched on, and she knew this was her path. It felt like coming home. Soon afterwards, she received a divine download to write a book on goddesses, and Goddess Power Pack was released in 2005 by a major international publisher. Now fast forward to today, she's since trained in all kinds of wonderful energies, from Ascension Reiki to Unicorn Light Healing to EFT and the One Command, but it was in 2012 when she remembered who she really was. Her travels had taken her to high vibration power points around the world, including Egypt, Avalon, Bimini, Sedona, Mount Shasta, and Hawaii, so she could gather the light codes and do the healing she needed to take her vibration up to a certain level. In the middle of a client session in 2012, she remembered and downloaded the Diamond Light and began using this beautiful, powerful source energy to change the lives of her clients and her own. Diamond Light helps gently and gracefully dissolve, unlock, and unplug even the deepest core blocks and energies from your system, clears and upgrades your timeline, and realigns you back to your divinity. It helps accelerate your healing journey and restores you to your magic and magnificence. She feels so blessed to hold space for people to receive this light so they can upgrade their realities and get connected back to Source. She often hosts teleclasses that feature magical beings like unicorns, fairies, goddesses, and dragons, and she's having her Oracle of the Unicorns deck published in 2016. She's had mind-blowing experiences on her travels, like swimming with wild dolphins and coming eye to eye with humpback whales. So, like I said, if you want to jump over to Cordelia's site to learn more about working with her and how you can grab all of those goodies, go over to rememberyourmagic.com. And I hope you enjoy this conversation with Cordelia and I. We've just had so much fun talking and playing together. And I loved the Diamond Light meditation at the end, and I'm sure that you will too. So also, don't forget that you can jump over and grab your bonus for today at youryearofradicaltransformation.com/day1. So what I would really like to start off with is just if you could just tell, the people who are listening, like a bit about yourself, specifically like what it is that you create in the world. And the other thing, and this can be like, tell the story as long as you feel called to, so there's no time limit or anything, but I'd really like to also hear, on this journey, like to be an entrepreneur and like be your own, business owner, was it like a lightning bolt moment where you really knew like this is what I wanted to do, or was this more like you kind of eased into it, or like fate sort of brought you like different, things along the way?
Yeah, so to go back to how I got onto this journey of being a magical mentor and doing the entrepreneurial thing is, years and years ago, I left university and I went into journalism. So I was working in London for a couple of years on this, interesting enough, like a trade magazine called Marketing.
Okay.
And it was like this flip side of this coin, because for someone starting out, it was an amazing job. I had so many perks in that job. It was crazy. Like, I was being taken out for lunch by advertising agencies to places like the Ivy in London and all like the best restaurants. We would get invited to these parties. I went on some amazing freebie press trips, like driving Alfa Romeo cars around Sicily and going on this party boat to Ibiza. And at Christmas, we would all get sent like tons of booze and gifts. And so on one side, like, it was this total like gifts and abundance and amazing stuff, but I absolutely hated it.
Yeah.
I hated the job, I hated London, and this is before I woke up and got on my spiritual path. So I was living in fear. I had no sense that there was any invisible support around me. I felt very alone. I felt very lost. And as a sensitive soul, London was just sucking my energy and my heart. And I hit my crunch point, and I came to my wake up point, and I just knew I had to get out, or I was just going to be destroyed. And so I quit everything, and like within a month I had ended my relationship. I quit my job, I left my house, and I went back up to Yorkshire in the north of the UK, which is where I'm from originally, and started a new life. And I did freelance journalism for a while. But this amazing synchronicity got me writing these articles on some holistic therapies for this local magazine in the city. And so I ended up going for, it was a Reiki treatment, and I ended up going for an astrology reading, and I ended up going for I think it was like a past life healing session. So I experienced these things, and especially after the Reiki treatment, I remember this light bulb going on, and it was like, oh my gosh, this is what I'm meant to be doing. Like, this is me. This feels like coming home.
And this was for an assignment, so you
yeah.
were
So this
okay, yeah.
And I think I'd been sort of slightly curious about this stuff, so I think I may have suggested it to the editors, like, oh, how about I go and do some holistic stuff. And as your soul always guides you into the way you need to go. But it was awesome. So I suddenly went, oh my god! And before I knew it, I was training in Reiki. I did my Reiki attunements. And then it was just this journey of waking up more and more. I also remember soon after that, I had that experience of a book flying off a bookshelf and practically hitting you on the head. And it was an Angel's book, and it was one of Doreen Virtue's books. And in the back there was this little flyer for this big event in London called World Angel Day, and there was Diana Cooper and Doreen Virtue and some other
I love her,
angel
Doreen
names.
Virtue,
So I went along to this, and then I went to a Doreen Virtue workshop in Edinburgh before she got really big. And so I was guided to do all of this stuff, and all this healing was happening, and I was doing the Reiki, and then I was learning all these different modalities like EFT, and a lot of stuff was happening. And then I started working with this super high vibration healer who looked like Gandalf, and ended up doing a bit of sort of apprentice mediumship kind of work with him, and I just got basically taken onto this acceleration path. It was like, hooray, I've remembered who I am, okay, let's go.
Yeah.
And I'd been through a lot of my dark night of the soul when I was in my late teens and early 20s, and I'd gone through depression. I'd really had a hard time as a teenager, and going to university, I was on Prozac for my second year of university. Like, I pretty much had a meltdown, and all this stuff going on. So thankfully I went through the worst of it when I was quite young. So it was like, okay, we can do this, we can go forwards now. And so it was this journey, and then I got this guidance one day. I was just sitting down, being quiet, doing a little bit of meditation, and this very physical energy came into my head. It wasn't even like a voice, it was like somebody putting something in through my crown chakra that translated as this message of write a book on goddesses. And those are the exact words, just write a book on goddesses. It was like this physical thing coming into my crown chakra. I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
And so I did, and I did some research, and I really got into goddesses, and I ended up having a book and oracle card deck published, and it was for teenage 20s girls. It was kind of funking up the goddesses for the 21st century. So all the illustrations were the traditional goddesses, but as young women, and with these like little pieces of their symbols and their energy translated into modern outfits and stuff like that. So
sounds adorable.
It was so cool, and there was other stuff about being a goddess girl and being really positive. And when it was published, it was so sweet, because obviously it was for teenage girls, but all these women would come up to me at these fairs and expos where I would have it, and they'd be like, oh my god, I love this too, I know it's a teenage girl, I want to be a goddess girl. It was so fun. And then I ended up living in Glastonbury, or I call it Avalon, for nearly a year while I was doing this, and I was volunteering as a Melissa in the Glastonbury Goddess Temple, which is where you open up the space and you hold space while people are visiting. So I went on this whole goddess journey in Glastonbury, and
I love that space.
Yeah, it's the most magical place, the Goddess Temple.
With the spring flowing and
yeah, Avalon is so magical. And
oh my god, yeah.
So special. It's like it's the most unique place in the world. And
so otherworldly, even as you're driving there through like the Somerset levels, and and it was crazy because like being in Bristol, it's really not that far, but I just felt like I was transported to a completely different world.
It's a different
like
world.
Whoa.
It's like you go through this sort of vortex.
Yes, yeah, for sure.
These gateways, and I always feel different people go into Glastonbury or Avalon on different levels. And that's why I call it Avalon, because that's the level I want to go into it as.
Yeah.
Glastonbury itself, it's polarity. It's dark and it's light, and you can access different levels of it. So I always intend going in at the highest level, this kind of Avalon magic level, and with the fairies and the goddesses and these beautiful energies and light beings, and Merlin is really deeply connected there.
As a side note, from going off of this and just hearing you say like Avalon, you have to be a fan of The Mists of Avalon, the book.
Yeah, right.
Oh.
Do you know what's funny is I still have never read that book.
Oh, you have to. Oh my god, it's just like, I read it as an adult and I've reread it several times, and I just love it so much.
I know, and people keep saying that to me. I'm like, I know, but I keep going to the place.
Yeah.
And it's true, since I lived there, I've been back there every year since then, and that was in 2007. So every year, at least a few times a year, sometimes I've stayed there for several weeks. That place really calls me back there. I'm very deeply connected in, and it's funny, even back then I was hosting these Goddess in Glastonbury retreats, and they were being featured in these spiritual magazines, and I still, I'm still in contact with some of the women now, and Lisa Lister, who does this amazing book called Code Red.
Oh, she's come. Yeah, I'm interviewing her for the program.
Yeah, she is awesome. She was one of my...
I can't wait to chat with her. Yeah.
Oh gosh, she's incredible. But she was on one of my first goddess retreats, and she mentions it in her book Code Red. And so even then, when I was like way back, and it was just something so powerful in that place. When you go there on retreat, it's just the energy there, the goddess there. When you go there with certain intentions, the potential for healing and growth and magic is so huge there. It's so beautiful. So, and I did a client retreat, this VIP one-on-one retreat last year with a client, and she's just like, her business is just expanding, she's growing. It's just so beautiful to watch the magic that happens in Avalon. So I'm like, you're really feeling, oh gosh, I'm feeling called to do those again. So I know that's something I'm going to be opening up more of in my business. But
well, to tell you about a nature sign, at the moment that you said there's magic there was a huge like burst of thunder here. Like it's like right above my head. It was like boom.
I love that.
So I say the universe is supporting that for you.
Yes, through the retreats.
Yes.
But it's so funny because I have, and we're totally digressing, but I have, well, after the few years with the goddess book, and then it's interesting because I got to this place and my star was ascending, and I was, like I said, I was getting featured in these magazines and these retreats were going so well, and there was a part of me which was just like, you know what, I'm not ready to do this. And I pulled back from everything. I left Glastonbury. I went on this really deep, hardcore inner journey. And truth was, I was standing on these stages at all these Mind, Body, Spirit expos, and I was speaking to these women, and people were loving my talks, and I could see, I was moving people to tears, and I felt like such a complete fraud because I knew I hadn't done the inner work. I was saying things that I was not embodying, and it really didn't feel aligned for me. So I really just hit the brakes and was like, I really don't feel this is right for me now. And
how old were you at this point?
So
what sort of age range?
Mid-20s.
Mid-20s, okay.
Yeah, so I sort of signed my publishing contract when I was 25, I think it was, and so like late 20s-ish. So it was really just, I need to go in and do more work. So I went through this really hardcore healing journey, this inner journey, and it was kind of quite painful. I went to some incredibly deep places. I did Kundalini yoga, which took me in some epic deep stuff. I was going to another powerful place near Rennes-le-Château in France, which is where all the Mary Magdalene energies are. So I was clearing a lot of really deep past life stuff, and for a couple of years I was on this plateau. I was broke. I was doing the whole spiritual poverty thing. I was, I was doing a lot of inner work, but not really living in the outer world. But so incredibly grateful for that time because it gave me the ability to go to these places myself, so I could then go to them with my clients later on, which was amazing. So anyway, I doing this deep inner journey, but I was also finding ways to travel and go to these places, and it's always been my dream for so long to go to Hawaii. So I just made it happen. I sold everything I owned. I sold all my snowboarding gear. I sold my computer. I didn't have an online business at the time, otherwise I would never.
Right.
I sold my laptop on eBay. I'd actually, around that time, I'd won this contest to go to Wild Quest in the Bahamas. This is a place I'd been to before as well. Clearing a lot of Atlantis energies, and so I won this trip to go on this retreat with them. So I ended up going, selling my computer. I got the exact money I needed for the flight. I went out to the Bahamas. I went on this Wild Quest retreat, and then I flew to Hawaii. And I was just, I don't know what I was thinking, but I had just enough money to do all of this. And bless me, this gutsy, totally believing in anything was possible girl I was then, just showed up at the pro surf contest that they have at the end of the year in Hawaii, like the massive surf industry thing. I thought, I'm just going to go out there with my EFT and I'm just going to work with surfer girls and work with all these pro surfers. Bless me, and it was so sweet that I was just going to go do that. And I did, I kind of connected with a few people, and I didn't get, surprisingly, I didn't get any clients, but I honour myself for the guts to just go do that.
Yeah.
But it was really this ploy to get me out to Hawaii. I managed to get off Oahu and I went to the Big Island. I never really knew about the dolphins there, that you could go swim with wild dolphins. I just got called to go to the Big Island. I ended up doing some work exchange on this land. So again, I went through this polarity experience of dark and light. I had no money. Literally none. I had $10. I was working in exchange for food and this little tent at the bottom of this land. So I was kind of working hard for this slave driver landowner on this sanding of this coal wood in like the hot Hawaii sun. You know, this is me totally going through all my poverty stuff.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I got to go down to the ocean. I got to swim with the dolphins. I got to experience the big island. I really, you know, Pele, who is the volcano goddess who is out there, you know, she's the creation energy, the fire energy, and she put me through my initiation. I mean, like getting bitten by mosquitoes. I had one of the red centipedes that got into my tent one night that would have bitten my toe if it hadn't been covered in band-aids because my snorkel fins had been rubbing so badly my feet were covered in raw blisters. And then falling in love with this guy, then he went off with this other one. Like, literally, I was being cracked open, like split open by Pele, and it was beautiful. Because I healed so much. And I came back from that trip and I was just like, you know what, fuck it, I'm not going through that again. It's time for me to grow and to do my thing. And I really put my foot down with the universe. And so I got connected in with this other healing modality called the Z-point process that I started doing, and it worked.
What is it called? U-point?
It was called the Z-point process.
Oh, Z-point. Okay.
Yeah, and it was great for me. It unlocked even more for me. I ended up at this conference in London, this internet and marketing conference, and it was one of those crazy, very male, kind of sleazy things, but I'd never heard of any of this stuff. And I was writing all these notes, and I was like, ooh, AWeber, what's that? And I literally just furiously writing these pages and pages of notes, and you know, all these guys, like, it was a total pitch fest of all this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But it opened me up to this world I didn't even know was possible. And so I just got into all this online marketing, and I tried doing all this crazy, like, Facebook ads and all this stuff. And I was like, but finally, I got to that place of like, oh, I could actually do my stuff and do like online programs, and I could do the healing that I'm doing. So I just started really, really small. And you know, I guess it's a really important message for anyone who's starting out. Like, just start where you are. I was
absolutely
just doing these calls on this free teleconference line. I had maybe 10 people who would come on these. I was doing them by donation. Like, I couldn't even bring myself to charge for them. You know, I was getting maybe like $10-15 for them. And I just started where I was, and I grew those. And then this amazing synchronicity happened. You know, I'd gone out, I really remember this. I went out and I sat in this field at the back of my parents' house where I was staying because I couldn't afford rent anywhere. And I was like, you know what, just get me out there, I'm ready. You know, I want to live my soul purpose. I want to do what I'm here to do. I want to share my gifts. I want to be free. I want to, you know, and I really had this conversation with God, like this heart to heart with the divine. And soon after that, as synchronicity happened, I was guided to set up my own little online radio show, and I think in the end I only did like 3 episodes. But I got guided to reach out to this woman who was promoting her Tether Summit on Facebook, and I said, wow, I've just seen your thing, would you like to come and speak on my radio show, and I'll promote you and I'll share it on Facebook. And she was like, yeah, cool. And then she looked at my stuff, and at that time I was actually doing something called Oceans of Love, and I was doing all this stuff around whales and dolphins, and I mean, this is a whole other story about what I was doing. You know, I'd done this whole conscience group called Women for Whales. I set up this whole conscience collective and things. But anyway, so she saw this whole Oceans of Love thing. She said, oh, I love the energy of what you're doing. Would you actually come and speak on my Tether Summit? I have one space open. And because I had this opportunity, I had 3 weeks to set up my entire online business, to do my shopping cart and my email provider, and create an online program and have a free gift to offer to people. And it was literally back to the wall up until 3 a.m. every night. Learning from YouTube.
Oh, I know that.
Like Googling on YouTube, like, how do I set this up and how do I do this? And like totally self-taught. So, but it was just the most perfect experience. Like, I had no opt-outs, my bridges were burnt, there was no way out. And that was the beginning of what I did. And I did this amazing online program and started making money and took people on these amazing healing journeys. And I think one of the first things I did, I was actually traveling again, and I ended up going on this epic healing journey to Bimini, which is Atlantis, and I went to Sedona and Mount Shasta, and then back to Hawaii, back with the dolphins. And I was doing healing classes from all these places while I was going there. And you know, that was really the start of me doing a lot of my classes I've done since then, which have been from a lot of places, like super high vibe, powerful places like Avalon and Bimini and Shasta and crazy, amazing places. So, the universe knew what I needed. I'd put my foot down. I'd had this little heart-to-heart with God, and that was it. And then it really opened up, and since then it's been just evolution. I think a lot of people now, there's a lot of this very hustly, pressured energy of like, oh, make 50K in 6 months and promote your business and be an expert straight away. And I don't think that's a really great way to do it. I'm really grateful that I've been on this slow grow journey, because I've had the opportunity to really get to know myself. I've really grown vibrationally within myself. Like, I don't do the Z point now. I work with an energy called the diamond light.
Okay.
And this is something that I just downloaded in the middle of a client session.
Wow, okay.
It just got through, there was like this block group I feeling, and I was like, okay, what do I need to do with this? And I was literally just shown in that moment, use this energy, go to this light, do this, do that, blah, blah, blah. And I didn't tell her what I was doing. She said, I don't know what you just did, but I can feel it's gone. Like, whatever that thing was that we couldn't shift is gone. I was like, cool. And it was, I think this was a result of me having done all the travel to all these places, done my own healing journey, and it was like I got to that place where I could hold the space with this energy and connect people in with it. So I've developed it, I've grown with it. It's really who I am. It's not even this thing that I do. I know that that's the frequency that I hold. It's this powerful, high vibration, intelligent, divine light. It's this highest frequency, and it dissolves the content that we have in our systems that is out of alignment with who we really are. So when we're working with it, all we're doing is really just dissolving and releasing and clearing and unplugging. And we can do lifetimes in one go. It's not about, oh, let's find this lifetime, or let's find this one block. It's like, okay, no, what's the issue? What's out of alignment here? And clear lifetimes, and clear your ancestral line, and clear dimensions and different realities and different incarnations and everything from your energetic system that is really just kind of clogged up. And, things like unplugging people from the collective consciousness and removing energetic implants and clearing contracts and vows from past lives. This light, it does so much. It's so powerful, and and even just opening up to that took me on this whole other journey. So it's just, it's been this journey of growth, expansion, evolution, and I wouldn't want it any other way. I think if I had tried to do that quick fix, quick growth, quantum leap in 6 months, I think I would have just burnt out. And I did. I got to that place with my goddess business, and I was like, I'm not ready for this.
Yeah.
And I think that's why a lot of people hit the wall with their businesses, or they come up against so much sabotage, or they hit upper limits that become so painful that
exactly. I mean, I can't, like, that's the one thing that, like, that's the one, I guess, danger there is, like, for the quick fixes, or this, like, go to, like, 50K in 6 months, or, add 5,000 people to your mailing list. And I've experienced this, like, I've experienced the upper limits personally, where I recognize quite quickly that, like, whoa, my container just got really big, and I'm like, I can't keep up right now. Whether it's energetically, or it's even just physical or tasks, as in, like, I can't keep up with this many emails, this many people reaching out to me and just, like, looking in my direction. Or if, it could be something like that, just as simple as, like, wow, the workload has really expanded now, and I need to run to catch up to expand with it. Or just the energetic container has gotten really big, and too big too quickly, and I can't, like, fill this space yet.
Right. I think it's a really big deal, and I'm going to be talking a lot more about this just in my business over the next few months. That it's a different game when you're an old soul. When you're sensitive, you're spiritual, you're intuitive. It's a different game to a lot of people, because we, like you say, we're working on this energetic level. Yes, it's all this physical stuff, it's business, it's out there, but the whole thing is supported by our energy, and everything is energetic. Calling in clients, offering a program, doing anything on Facebook. Behind everything there is energy.
Yeah.
And firstly, so much can get triggered. You've got to be aware, we've got past life stuff coming up, inner blocks, limitations, limiting beliefs, ancestral shit we're carrying, like old vows and programs. And if you haven't cleared or dealt with that, or you don't know how to, or you don't have the support, if there's suddenly this quantum leap or something big happens in your business, or something gets triggered and that stuff comes up, I mean, literally there will be inner parts of you that will freak out and melt down and do everything they can to keep you safe. It becomes literally this game of life or death, because in past lives, when we've grown or we've been visible or we've spoken our truth or we've been leaders, we have been cut down and persecuted and punished, and we have gone through hell as powerful souls in past lives. And when that gets triggered, everything will get activated to protect you. And that means, a lot of sabotage can happen. You will run away from stuff, you will create drama and stuff going on to protect you and keep you small. Or you might find that you're hitting a plateau and you're not able to grow your business. And that's when, I think that's why it's so unhealthy for really sensitive souls to be doing those big marketing programs. And I've done them. And they have not worked. And it's just completely the wrong approach for us. Because it's like, go and do this and get out there and leap. And what's wrong with you if you're not taking massive action and you're not adding 10,000 people, or you're not doing this big thing? And, the inner work has got to happen first for us to feel safe, to be able to hold the space for those people, or to be able to put ourselves out there and be seen, because it is scary as hell on that energetic level. So
I cannot, everything, I mean, really just listening to you, like, through this, everything you've been talking about has been ridiculously aligned with my own personal experience. So many synchronicities there, both, physically and energetically, things that you've actually done and how you've self-taught and YouTubed and, back against the wall, learning how to do it. It's like, that's even how I got into my web design work, was just like, my degrees are in psychology and gender studies and sexuality. Like, I never went to school for design or anything. Like, I just taught myself how to do it all, because I was like, right, okay, there's a YouTube video somewhere that's going to like teach me how to put this autoresponder sequence together and, link it up to my shopping cart and all the, taking notes about marketing stuff. There's like, man, I've got a page of notes because there's so many things I wanted to like touch on that you had said. But I think that what we're talking about now is really relevant to where I'm at, like at this very moment, like for this program, your year of radical transformation. It's the biggest launch, quote unquote, like that I've ever done. And I have to keep checking in with myself to say, right, am I doing this because this is like what I think, quote unquote, is the right way to do it? That all the marketers have told me to like launch this way, this is your sequence, this is how many people you want to get on your list. But really checking in with myself and saying, okay, like, what feels comfortable? Because when, like you said, if you're a sensitive person, if you're tapped into your energies, I am like enthusiastically, energetically welcoming every person that comes on my list. Like, I get the email that they've come onto the list. I know they're into the autoresponder sequence, but I'm like, hi, I love you, welcome. Like, I'm like saying that to them. And like, I love doing it, and I think that it creates like a really strong connection with the people that do join the list, but it's also like, can I do that 200 times in a day? Like when they're coming in one after another, like even people signing up for like the speaker series, it's like loads of people are signing up and I'm like, oh, welcome, I love you. Oh, welcome, I love you. It's like, wow, like even that, you don't realize that from the outside, that could also be like energetically and intensive, to just welcome everybody into the fold and be here holding space for that too. And it's, what's making me realize is like, no, maybe I don't actually want it to like over the next 4 weeks or something grow to 5,000. Like maybe it's just like, maybe it's fine, like letting in a few people, like letting it, I was like, I'm testing out like, what's the number? Like, what feels good, what would feel like a good number of people to hold space for on the program, rather than like, oh, as many people as can come on, or as much money as can come out of this. It's like realizing, okay, like what, just asking, just inquiry and being sensitive to the energies, because I had an experience last week of definitely hitting some upper limits, feeling more exposed than I'm used to, and just having like a bit of a total body breakdown, like migraines, body aching, going like, whoa, I feel like this is 100% like emotional. Like, I don't think I have a cold or anything, and that kind of rarely happens to me. Like, so it was definitely a message, listen to your body, slow down.
Yeah, it is so funny because I had one of those the other week, and I get that I get my clearing colds, and I know I'll get them for like 24 hours or something, and it's before, it's when I've connected in with my next steps or my next ideas, or I know I'm going to be talking about some big stuff and putting myself out there, and my body will just go and have a freak out for 24 hours, and clear some energetic gunk out my system. I'm like, okay, cool, I'm ready to rock. And it's, I think that's the problem again with this, the big online marketing industry. It's just not working for spiritual people, because there isn't that deeper level of support with the energy. There isn't that guidance of, hey, this is going to be going on energetically, and you need to know how to handle this, or you need to have support, or, and everyone talks about, you need a VA, and you need, a designer, and you need a business coach. And I am so passionate about every entrepreneur, especially if you're like a sensitive soul, like you need a healer on your team. And you need someone who's going to help you clear the blocks, clear the upper limits out your way, clear the stuff that comes up for you. And if like especially, our kind of level, you're a healer, or you're someone who's working with energy or astrology or yoga or anything like that, you're going to be even more super sensitive. And I really see this in so many women especially. There is that past life stuff that comes up. It's this really deep fear, because you're stepping into leadership, like you're doing with this. People will come into this event, you're the one holding the space, you're hosting, you're the picture they see. We become leaders, we become visible, and that really does mean all this stuff gets opened up. So I just see there's this big need for the support that is not happening in the industry in the way it really should be doing for people. So, that's definitely my little soapbox thing at the moment.
No.
About, you got to get this energetic support, and when you do that, then taking those bigger steps and those bigger leaps can feel much more safe. It can feel safer getting visible, and then you can do the things that are going to call in the thousands of people, or raise your rates, or do a bigger event, or do a VIP retreat or a high-end client program. But I think it's crazy. I think it's actually pretty much insanity. All these marketing mentors going, just you're starting out, it doesn't matter, you've got no experience, just get a fancy website up, position yourself as an expert, make sure you're charging big rates so people see you as an expert, and then off you go. And it's kind of insanity.
What about all the oh my god, what about the foundation?
The foundation, and then the integrity of really being real about what level you're at. To people, being in integrity and authenticity, and also for your own sake, that will trigger a shit ton of stuff around feeling like a fraud. Feeling like you're not good enough. You're always inner parts of you that just don't feel ready, don't feel worthy, and this person is like pushing you out there. It's like pushing you off a massive high diving board when you just feel ready for like the medium one or the smaller one. So it's really kind of counterproductive to push yourself too far too fast if you don't have that support.
That was actually one of the first things that I did. One of my non-negotiables for doing this launch was like, I need to find an energy healer, and I need to find someone in Malta. And I wound up manifesting someone that lives like a few blocks away from me. So it's wonderful. Yeah, because I was like, I'm going to be so tired. I'm going to be working a lot, and this is going to be an intense process. I'm getting I'm getting ready. I'm training for it. It's like I'm training for it, and I need like my backup. And I was, just like thinking about, okay, so how much money do I have, and how can I, you're doing the practicals, and I'm kind of mapping it all out for myself. Like, how much might I spend on Facebook ads, and what kind of support do I need? And I'm like, okay, should I have a VA? And it's just like, the energy healer actually was the person that trumped all of that stuff. Because I was like, I'm right there with you, and I decided this time around, like, that's going to be the person that is, that's the biggest support that I could have right now. It's not necessarily someone setting up lead pages for me, or, you know, seeing how my Facebook ads are converting. I'm actually quite fine doing all that stuff myself. And like, in terms of connection, I can't invite thousands and thousands of people in right now because I want to keep that connection. Like, I want to be there to, I don't want an assistant emailing people back, actually. Like, I want it to be me right now, you know? Maybe it will change at some point, but like, for now, it's like that I have to create a container around like how much I can actually accept in and still be sane and supported and, you know, not be working all the time. Like there's feels like there's a limit for that.
Yeah, and I think that's such
to still feel authentic too.
Yeah, and that's such another perfect aspect of this because, you know, I also talk about getting paid to play. You know, we're really moving into this new paradigm of how we do business.
Yeah.
And again, this whole kind of online marketing industry, it is so anchored into old paradigms. It's just ridiculous, and it's masquerading as conscious business and. But actually, it's really plugging so many people into limitation, into old paradigms of working. Yeah, and what you were saying is so perfect. Like, I think for everybody, you know, getting paid to play, it means, you know, doing what you love, doing it on your terms, doing it in the way that feels good to you. And yeah, if you want to have some huge epic event or launch and like rocket yourself to 6 or 7 figures, then fine, do that. Know what it's going to take to do that. But it's also equally as gorgeous and valid if you just want to earn X amount so you're living abundantly and comfortably and happily, and you're not that bothered about like, you don't have to be a 6-figure or 7-figure entrepreneur. What's important is that you're happy, you're thriving, you're doing what you love in the way that you love doing it, you have support. You have, you know, and I think again for us, like spiritual, sensitive, creative types, we need our free time. You know, we need our freedom. That's for so many of us. That's our top value. Like we love naps, yoga, chilling out, being in nature. Like we need time and space for that. Like we don't want to be slogging our guts out and burning ourselves out just to get to 7 figures or whatever. You know, so it's the new paradigm is having that self-responsibility or that self-awareness of being able to tune into your heart and your soul and go, what feels good for me? What's going to light me up? And sometimes that is going to be like a stretch or a, you know, taking a big leap or doing something exciting, like, and often those things that might seem scary to some people might feel really easy to you. You know, like I'm in the process of writing another oracle card deck. I've got coming out next spring with Blue Angel Publishing, who have been my favourite oracle deck publisher for like years. I love their stuff, and it was so freaking easy for me to get this contract. Like I manifested it, just so easy, so smooth. I'm writing the cards now. It's got Oracle of the Unicorns. I love unicorns. I work with them in my business. Like everything is aligned and sweet and fun and gorgeous. And yet this is this sort of big thing that's going to be taking me out into more visibility, and I'm going to be doing like talks and workshops and all this crazy stuff. But to me, it doesn't feel scary. It doesn't feel, you know, it just feels really light and easy. And that's the energy to follow in what you're doing for anybody. You know, what feels light, what feels good, and how does it feel good? How can I do this that feels like it's play and not work? And I think so much of that industry is, you should be doing this, you should be doing that. This is the system you should follow. You have to do this launch, and you have to do a telesummit followed by an email sequence, followed by, you know, whatever it is at each moment. And I think it disconnects us from our hearts and from the inherent intuitive wisdom we have inside of us that knows what we're meant to be doing and knows what's going to be fun for us. And when we're in that lightness and that fun and that play and that joy, and we're getting, you know, like we said, that behind the scenes support where you're clearing any blocks and stuff that are coming up on the journey, you know, it's just a different game. It's, you know, that's that new paradigm. It's a totally different experience to the heavy, hard, slogging your guts out, sacrificing,
very masculine.
It is very masculine, you know, and exactly, that's it. It's, you know, I'm all about magic. I mean, my business is called Remember Your Magic, and I'm all about that. How can we live from our magic? How can we create from our magic? How can we create our businesses from our magic instead of, and that's that feminine goddessy energy, you know, instead of this old paradigm, masculine, crappy stuff, you know, we're just done with that, so...
What's the name of, so you said this is your second oracle deck. What's the first one?
Yeah, so the first one I did is called Goddess Power Pack.
Okay.
And that was the cool one for like your teens, 20s girls.
Oh, right, okay.
I think it's out of print, but you can still get secondhand copies on Amazon if you go Google it.
Okay.
So that's super fun. And I still have, I still use those cards. I have those as my oracle cards, and they're still super. And then the unicorn is, oh my gosh, this deck is going to be so awesome and beautiful. Like, the only oracle decks, unicorn decks out there at the moment are like either for children or they're very fluffy. They're like, to me, they don't really embody the energy of the unicorn. So this one I've gathered some of the most amazing unicorn artwork from people I've googled and sourced, and there's an incredible artist called Kirk Reinhardt who's quite famous in like geeky art circles. Oh my god, I mean, his stuff is breathtaking.
Yeah.
It's so beautiful. So I'm so excited about this. So,
I can't wait to see them when they come out.
I know, me too. I'm like, I've got to actually write them in the next few weeks, and then we're going to get them out next spring. So, unicorns 2.0. Like, badass, beautiful, powerful, gorgeous unicorn, and winged horses, really. It's kind of half and half, sort of Pegasus, winged horses, winged unicorns. Yeah, tons of magic. So, and to me as well, I think as well, giving yourself permission to create projects that are offline as well. I think we're so jumped into this, I should be doing everything online. But actually, it's such a saturated market. It's really overwhelming, all the social media and stuff. And, I love the fact that I'm going to have this physical product that I can take out there and people can have in their hands, and I'm going to do workshops with it, and be there live in person and not just online. So, also, give ourselves permission to broaden our horizons outside the online world as well.
Yeah, I'm feeling called to that right now. Definitely having a combination of the both, but it's been 2 years, before the web design stuff, and I was teaching yoga, meditation, and dance and all that stuff, and that was all in person, and that was, even though I did wind up getting burnt out in the end, and like you're saying, having this experience of feeling like a fraud, feeling like I haven't done this inner work, and I'm saying all this stuff, but at the same time I'm I don't know, going home and having a panic attack or something like that, and I'm not sharing that with anyone, so there's a lot of anxiety in my life. And the reason why I had asked you before what your age was, because for me, it really coincided with the beginning of my Saturn return. So around 28-ish, I kind of just stopped. It wasn't that, it wasn't that people weren't showing up or people weren't loving it. It wasn't that I wasn't even, I was loving it too, but I just pulled back completely. And had another crazy connection was when you were talking about having this conversation with God or the universe, or sitting in the field at your parents' house. I had the exact same experience at my partner's house in the English countryside, in a field by myself, and I was metaphorically on my knees. I had $100 to my name. I was 30 years old, living with someone else's parents who were taking care of me, essentially. And I had been at the entrepreneurial game for a while at this point, and just feeling I don't know what I'm doing right now. And this was right before, it was 2 days before Marie Forleo's B School was about to start 2 years ago. And I just had this feeling I got to be on this course. It's $2,000, I have $100, and tons of student debt. I'm negative thousands of dollars at this point. And I just went out for this walk and kind of said, you know what? I'm here, I'm open. If there's another way of seeing this, if there's another purpose for me, channel it through me. I'm ready. I'm ready to do this. I just, I can't see it, right now. And just kind of put the call out there, please use me. I'm ready. And I was not attached to what form that came in. And that was perfect that I was in that alignment. Otherwise, I think I would have really rejected the website design stuff and been nah, that isn't for me. And I even tried to reject it a bit. What happened is that evening I came home And I had a message from a friend of mine from Philadelphia, and she said, you know, do you still want to do B school? And I was like, yep, but I can't afford it, not even the payment plan. And she said, I'll put B school on my credit card right now if you build me a website for my new business. And I was like, you know, I was like, yeah, but I don't know what I'm doing. Like, and she was like, yes, you do. Like, you know how to do this. And that was 2 years ago, and I've been booked solid ever since. Like, I never stopped working as a web designer and, like, doing branding and stuff. And that might not be... The thing is, like, I'm flexible and I'm open, and I know that that's not my final destination either. But what it did for me is, like, the universe is like, you know, you need some money, you want to be on this course? Right. We got that. But we're going to give you a career as well. We'll throw you in a career, and it's something you didn't expect, but, like, here you go, baptism of fire, go learn how to do this, and, like, go get clients and stuff. And did it. But I think that is actually what it has served me is the vehicle to, like, learn how to appreciate and let in financial abundance in a way that doesn't necessarily, like, trigger my fraud trigger. Because I'm not doing work where I'm also... I don't make a website and ask myself, have I done the inner work for this? Like I know how to do it, and that's all that matters. Like, I go in and I make the site, and I do good work, and I'm nice to my clients, and, like, I try to be authentic. And that's kind of, like, that's it, you know? And the clients that I attract are really aligned with who I am as a person, and whether they're coaches or yoga teachers or whatever. But I think it's gotten me to this point where I was so stuck, so rooted in root chakra issues of not being able to support myself and not being able to take care of my basic needs, that I needed to graduate past that point to come to where I am now, which is ready to re-offer my spiritual gifts.
Right, and oh my God, I mean, I could just sit here and talk with you all day.
I know.
Because I think we go through these waves of readiness. It's, you know, and you know, we both had that Saturn return thing, you know, and that's exactly when I hit my wall.
Yeah.
And then even the last few years doing my business, you know, I've, you know, been at a really solid 5 figures in my business, and I haven't hit 6 figures yet, but you know, again, I'm so grateful for the journey that I've had in my business, because I know I'm here for big things, and I know I'm meant to be out there and being seen in a big way. And again, I still wasn't ready for it. You know, I still had some, you know, inner stuff that I wanted to go through. And, you know, I did some of those big mentoring programs, and there was definitely that pressure of, like, this is the niche you should have. You should be doing, like, being a money coach. You should be doing all this stuff. You should be, you know, you're definitely going to, like, make 6 figures. And none of it felt good to me.
Yeah.
And so I dug my heels in, and I refused to go there. I was like, no way. And now I feel really ready. I feel so grounded. I feel really solid within myself. I feel ready to be seen and be much more of a leader, you know. I mean, we were having this conversation about kind of, you know, hiding out in a bit of a comfort zone. But actually, I think sometimes we need that. We need to go through a journey to get to the place where we feel strong enough in ourselves and grounded enough and in touch enough with ourselves that when we put ourselves out there and we're ready for the next step and the bigger level, that we know we can hold that space. We know we can handle whatever energy comes at us. You know, like I wrote a blog post, can't remember, like maybe a couple of months ago, about internet trolls and how this is all the energy of the Inquisition that is coming into this lifetime. It's the same energy. It's trying to stop powerful magical women from speaking their truth and being seen and being powerful and shining in this world and uplifting others. You know, it's the same energy that's coming in to oppress us, and it's just coming in the form of internet trolls rather than inquisitors torturing you and burning you at the stake.
Witch trials and, you know.
Right, it's exactly that same energy. It scares people. You know, it is. You know, I haven't had it badly. I have a few comments here and there, but nothing too bad so far. Probably because I haven't put myself out there. You know, I was reading Leonie Dawson's amazing blog post.
Me too.
Oh God, yeah, amazing.
As soon as you said that, it's just
Yeah, and then
like
next to somebody else's post things, and she was sharing this food writer saying, people making comments about her husband and her daughter, like things like saying, "Oh, their child's so ugly," stuff like that. I'm like, seriously, what the fuck?
Yeah.
And
It's heartbreaking.
That energy, it is heartbreaking. It is designed, and again, I'm all about the energy behind the scenes of things. Whoever these people are, whatever they're going through, whatever is causing them to write this stuff, behind all of that, this bigger picture of it is this energy that is trying to put the frighteners on women like us who are sensitive, thin-skinned, and maybe don't want to be attacked like that. So we hold back and we don't get our gifts out there and shine our light. So, again, that's a lot of the clearing like that I love doing with people. It's like, okay, let's get this out of your system. Let's unplug and clear all this stuff and all the fear of the Inquisition, all the fear of being persecuted. And when you've cleared that energetic content from our system, it's like you can be strong enough. You know that it's not going to hurt you. You can feel it's okay. You just have this ability to let it wash past you, rather than it feeling like this attack on you because it's triggering all this stuff within you. But again, going back to taking those big leaps and stuff, when you're suddenly putting yourself out there, when you're suddenly stepping out there in a bigger way, and there isn't that foundation, and you haven't maybe let yourself evolve or grow or had that steadier journey, it can be really terrifying, and it can just, everything can kind of crumble and freak out. So, this journey of evolving and growing, and like you've had letting the universe take you on the path that's right for you. It may not be, like you were saying, like your ultimate destiny, your ultimate purpose, but that's okay. It's okay to be on a journey. It's okay to follow the path. It's been the same for me. I know there's bigger things, and I know there's all these different things that are waiting, definitely, that I've activated in my timeline that are going to unfold. And, we don't need to know. And again, another thing in our industry, all this stuff about, oh my God, I need to know my purpose. I need to know what my niche is. I need to know what my thing is. You just need to move into whatever is in front of you and follow the universe's guidance and follow your heart and just do the next thing that's in front of you that feels good. And it's like my thing I did when I started out. I was doing this Riches and Joy radio, and I just, because I wanted to do it, and I thought it would be a great way to get out there, and I love interviewing people. And funny enough, I'm actually going to be starting up like a new Remember Your Magic radio thing that I haven't set up yet. It's going. But it's like I did 3 episodes of that radio show when I started out. That wasn't meant to be my big thing, but it was like a breadcrumb on this trail that the universe was laying for me. If you do this, it's going to lead you to invite this person to interview you, who is going to invite you onto her telesummer, and that is going to lead me into that whole business. So, just follow the thing that is in front of you. It doesn't matter if it's perfect. It doesn't matter if it's not your huge thing. It's just what feels good, what feels light, what feels like you can do it now, that you're going to enjoy, and you don't know where it's going to take you. So it's okay if it's not like your ultimate business or your ultimate thing. And also, like you're saying, like, what's going to bring in abundance? Like, you need to make money, do what feels good to you, serve people, use your gift. It doesn't matter if it's not like your ultimate huge massive thing.
I think that so many, like exactly what you said, this is a point that paralyzes so many business owners, especially in the online world. And I see it with clients that I work with, in the web design world. I see it constantly where projects will just like drag on and on and on. And the core issue here is just like, oh, but I don't know like what my niche is though. And I don't have it like dialed in so specifically. And I always have to just like, I always relate a story, which is, and you were saying that you have people who are still like in your orbit that were taking like your goddess retreats like ages ago. And there are people who have been with me, and lots of them who have decided to be with me no matter what I'm putting out there. We have a connection, and doesn't matter. The first thing I ever did business wise is I started a burlesque studio and we were doing like, it was a mobile studio, so I never wanted to own space or have space just because I'm a traveler, and it would make me feel claustrophobic to like be paying rent for a studio. So we would just rent out, different places. I did it in England, I did it in America, and, female empowerment and stuff. But there are still people now, that was 8 years ago, who are still like on my mailing list because they came to a burlesque class. And then I was talking about yoga, and then I wrote a book about nutrition and detoxing, which is not a path I'm on at all anymore. Like, I don't even talk about that subject just because, for various reasons, I've realized over the years it's so personal, and I just felt like, no, that's not, I don't want to be giving nutrition advice. Like, that's out of my realm, actually. But there's people who bought that book and then, like, are still here. And more recently, when I didn't, I was at a point where I was going to be moving more into the branding, marketing, web world. And I said, you know what? I'm kind of retiring this old list. There's people here from all over the place. Maybe you did a burlesque class with me. Maybe you read my book. Maybe you came to a yoga class. Maybe you read one of my articles on Elephant Journal. I don't know how you got here. I'm so thankful that you've been here and you've been on this journey. But here's what I'm going to be talking about next. And it's going to be branding, marketing, blah, blah, blah. Click this link if you want to jump over onto here. And 75% of the people jumped over. They were like, yeah, sure, cool, whatever you're talking about. Like, we just want to hear what you have to say, So that's not going to work for every business owner, but that's actually just worked for me. Like, I don't waste my time, like, niching down and niching down and niching down. I actually just talk about what I feel like talking about. If it's the cycles on the moon today, sure, that's what I'm going to talk about. If it's, I don't know, some kind of like how you can use lead pages for your website or something, that's what it's going to be,
Yeah, and I think it does tangle people up so much because, there are all these shoulds and rules that we've been plugged into around how you're supposed to do your business. And there are certain things like, you've got to find your niche, and certain things like that feel like this kind of set in stone rule that you should do before you can go out there and make money. And I just say, the whole, again, getting paid to play, it's like follow your heart, like you're saying, just speak what's in your heart. Like, what do you want to share? What feels good to you? I think too often it's about trying to figure out what other people want and need, when actually, ultimately, if you know who you are and what's going to light you up to talk about, what's going to light you up to create in your business, people will be magnetized to you because you'll be in your joy, you will be in your light, in your power, you will be speaking your truth. And it doesn't matter if you don't have a niche or whatever. If you are in that energy, the right people will get called to you and find you and listen to you and sign up to your stuff. But if you're stuck in this heaviness of like, oh, my branding's not right, or my niche isn't right, or I'm not doing it right, it kind of dampens down your energy, and it's a different kind of vibe, and people will maybe find you, maybe not. So I think it's more important to really check into your heart, like, what do you want to speak about? What feels good to you? What feels light? What feels fun? What feels easy? What do you love doing? And I think if anybody does that, you're gonna move forward more probably than you will do if you're trying to get the perfect business and the perfect niche. And just screw it, have fun.
Yeah. And don't be afraid to hear crickets, I can't tell you over the years how many things have just like really bombed on a conventional sense. No one was interested. Everyone's like, we love you, but we don't want to buy this. No thanks.
And we hear all that stuff about everyone is, and this is one of the things, I'm not that active on social media. I should probably be a little bit more, and I am going to definitely have some more fun on Facebook. But we're so bombarded with everybody sharing all their awesome stuff because they want people to see them and hire them basically on Facebook. So everyone's putting out like, oh, I did this and I'm working this client and I've made this much money and blah, blah, blah. So all we're bombarded with is like, I've made 6 figures and I've made this much and I've had a 5-figure month, and it can make you feel really shitty if you're not doing that. So you've got to kind of unplug from that stuff and know everyone is just sharing their good stuff to try and be seen, and it's okay if you're not there. Like, it's really okay. And everybody has like stuff bombing and failures and stuff that isn't going great, and we all have waves of income ups and downs. I think that's the other thing as well. Like, we can get stuck in so much shame because, again, all this stuff that is in front of us is everyone's success and everyone else is doing it better than us and everyone else is earning more money. But I think everybody is going through dips and peaks and troughs and there's stuff going on for people. So, we're not seeing the picture behind the scenes of everybody's business or everybody's lives. There's a lot of bullshit in our industry of this whole glossy image on the outside, but people not really enjoying what they're doing, or they're burnt out, or they're not earning the money they really want to. So it's, there's all this different stuff going on, and I think it's just so important to be in your heart and like just focus on what you love doing, who you are, where you want to be, and just move forward and follow your guidance. And that's going to get you further than trying to follow all the systems and the rules and the regulations of our industry. Yeah,
I couldn't agree more. I mean, there's been in this conversation just so much alignment with the way you think about things. This is really, really similar to the way that I think about things. But I just want to switch just slightly, because I want to ask you about what are some of your favorite rituals or techniques or things that you do, like whether on a daily or weekly basis or just as needed, that keep you in a really high vibration?
Yeah, so funny enough, I always listen to my own audios, and it took me a while to be able to do that. When I first started out, I couldn't watch anything I did. I couldn't watch videos, I couldn't listen to myself. I was like, that was too freaky. But now, I listen to my own audios because it sounds so egotistical and arrogant. But honestly, the stuff I create, I know is really good stuff.
Yeah, me too. Me too.
I stuff more than anyone else's. So yeah, so I always listen to my own stuff. I have this great track I listen to. It's like words behind music. So it's like this diamond light that I put behind this track. So I'll have that playing while I'm working. So it's just like this beautiful music, but it's coded with all this positive money energy. And then I'll do listen to my healing stuff, and I have some amazing daily diamond light stuff that I'll listen to. So I will frequently listen to my own healing things. And then one of my kind of touchstones, especially at the moment, I've been doing is really going within and remembering that, the divine is my supply. And again, this is another way where the business world is plugging people into limitation and unconsciousness, is because it makes you believe that stuff outside of you is your supply and is your support. Like, I have to get clients, I have to get money, I have to do all these marketing systems in order to get clients and money, and it's all out there and I have to go out there and get it. But actually everything is really from source, from the divine. So to me right now, I'm really reminding myself, connecting in with that truth every day. It's like the clients in the business, they're just one channel through which the divine can support me and send all this energy in the form of money and love and everything else. So that's really what my journey I'm working on at the moment is. It's like it's all from the divine, it's all within. Everything outside of me is just an outpicturing of my energy and my beliefs. So it's not like I have to hustle and get anything outside of me, and it really helps you create business from a much more loving place, because you're not trying to hustle. And the energy of getting, I have to get you as a client, I have to get this many sales, I have to get this, because it's all outside, and if I don't get this, I'm gonna struggle. And that's just that reverse energy. So when you're living from that truth of it's all divine and it's infinite and there's so much of it, and it can come to me in multiple ways. My business is just one channel for that energy to flow to me. You can do things in such a more relaxed way. There's so much more faith and trust. There's so much more love. It's such a much more peaceful way to run a business. So that's one thing I'm really going deeply into at the moment. And then, I really, sometimes I forget to do it, but again, at the moment, really going into my gratitude practice. It's so important. It really gets things flowing.
Yeah.
And I do a fun thing, which is, it's kind of like extreme gratitude. And it's like, it's like celebrating. And, gratitude is so powerful, and when you sit there and you feel grateful, it's so sweet and it's so beautiful. But I always think, if you want something big to happen in your life, act as if, and even if you're just doing it for a minute or two each day, go freaking crazy, freak out like you won the lottery. Jump up and down. And I've been doing it for the last few days, and what's really funny about this is I've done this before, and every time I've done this, something really cool has happened, and cool enough to make me do that in real life.
Yeah.
So you're acting as if you're creating this energy, and then the universe brings you something where you're actually feeling that energy, and it's on a really big way. But because it's so powerful, I do it, and then something happens, and then I know that parts of me just freak out and go, oh wow, that was too powerful, that was too magical, let's not do it.
Yeah.
So I've been committing this this week I'm going to do this. You know, it's the last couple of days I've been doing it. And what happened the other day when I did it was this online magazine that I really wanted to write for and speak on this stuff, and it's been on my to-do list. I had not taken action on it, and I was just like, ugh. Anyway, so I did this in the morning. I was like, yay, woohoo. And then later that day, the co-editor or the editor-in-chief contacted me and said, hey, would you like to speak on our telesummit? Oh my god, we'd love you to write for us. So it's like stuff starts to come to you. It's like you have to go and find it. So all you need to, and the way that I do it is like I put on some music and I dance first to get into my body and get into like that happy groove. And normally it's like something like Bruno Mars or, you know, Uptown Funk. Like you got to get into that like really fun vibe, get moving, get into that fun vibe, and then I just start jumping up and down and like fists in the air and just start saying yes, and just like, yes, yes, yes. And then once you start doing that, it starts feeling really good. So you just start doing yes more powerfully. You just like yes, yes, and then you just find you find like you're jumping up and down and yes, yes, and then the yes I turn to thank you. So it's
thank you, yeah.
And then just take it as high as you can take it, like just jumping up and down, freaking out. Yes, thank you. Oh my god, I mean, like just freak out that you just won the jackpot on the lottery. And when you create that much energy and that much positivity, and you're just putting it out there into the universe, you're not necessarily saying, oh, it's because this has happened to me. It's just you putting that vibration out.
Yeah.
You know, the universe can't not hear that, cannot not respond to that much energy, positive, coming from you. And then sometimes I'll do it where I'll be doing the yeses and I'll be jumping up and down saying yes. And I will have in mind things that I want to manifest. And I'll just lightly hold those things in my head while I'm saying yes and jumping up and down. So it's like you're saying yes to these things you want in your life. You know, yes to this business success, yes to this money, yes to, I don't know, like your new car, your new home, or whatever it is. And but the trick is to be really unattached, like completely unattached to what happens, any results. You just do this, just do it daily. So, you know, I'm definitely doing this, and I feel like I'm going to be doing like a like a container for people who want to come and do this with me later in the year. So we'll see how that unfolds. But for now, I'm like, you know what, I want my talk, and I'm going to commit to doing this every day for like 21 days or something. So that's really my practice, spiritual practice. And you know, there's some other stuff that is unlocking me more, I guess, spiritually, and then into a more grounded space within me. And it's not like sitting quietly and doing meditation stuff. Like I've recently discovered Argentine tango and some other fun stuff that I've been doing. And you know, and a lot of it is about getting in your body, and getting into this very sensual energy. And for me, that is opening up so much more than a lot of like spiritual woo-woo silent meditation and stuff like that. So, but I think for everyone it's unique. You know, find what works for you. But you know, for me, those are those things I'm doing. So a lot of physical stuff, a lot of pleasure and joy and fun and celebration and sensuality and all that kind of good juicy stuff.
Oh, that is another conversation that could just be at least an hour's worth of what you just touched on, because I love meditation. It feels really good in my body, but I actually feel more spiritually aligned when I blast like Beyonce in my headphones and I just like go crazy dancing around my room. Like that more easily brings me to like a state of pure bliss and feeling so centered in my body. I love it. And I actually write down on my list of notes that I have here, your gratitude practice, because I'm going to do that as soon as we get off the phone. And I'm also going to do that for the next 21 days, because that is a practice that feels in my heart so aligned. And I was just smiling so big at the thought of it. Like, yes, I'm going to do this. I'm going to jump up and down. I'm going to be like, oh my God, yeah, thank you. Thank you so much.
I love it. And I did it this morning, like maybe like an hour. And then after I did it, and I totally, I did it to exhaustion. I was like, I can't jump up and down anymore. I need to go to the gym just to be able to do this every day. But then often I will do things when then I will sit down, then I will go within.
Yes,
and I'm in this completely different vibration. And literally this morning I had tears streaming down my cheeks because I felt so connected in with all the abundances in the universe. I connected in with like this generosity that I could feel because I knew that I wanted this much abundance and I knew what I wanted to do with it, and I knew, yes, some of it was for me and to live an amazing life, and a lot of it I want to do things with for others, and but it was just this overflowing of this bliss and this gratitude and this expansion and this abundance, but in a completely different way than I ever am able to access if I just try and sit down and meditate on it. Yeah. It's just so embodied and anchored into my body. So it's a really, really great practice. Definitely one to do for sure.
That's wonderful. And I'm really curious. I can't wait to experience this diamond light. And so you want to tell us a little bit about it, and then you're also going to guide us in a bit of diamond light meditation. So I'm going to just hand it over to you and just do your thing.
Cool. Okay, so I explained how I came across this, and diamond light, like I was saying, I really feel like it's the frequency that I hold on my soul level, and it really, in a nutshell, diamond light is pure divine energy. It's just the purest, highest frequency of light. It is literally like a diamond. You might see people talking about this. It's our core is like this pure, untainted, unfettered, radiant diamond self. It's like the Christ consciousness. It is the divine. And the diamond is so pure. It is radiant, it is powerful, it is unbreakable, it is luminescent, it is, that's who we are on a soul level. We are these diamonds of light, and we have literally just been covered up and clogged up through lifetimes and lifetimes. And the diamond light, it's restoring us to who we really are. It's about dissolving all of that crap. It is about releasing it from our system, so we get to really be these diamond beings that we are. And when we do that, our realities upgrade. We naturally upgrade and up-level into better realities, better experiences, into our higher selves. It is just this beautiful journey that it takes us on, back home into our truth, into our divinity, into our light, into our power, into our abundance, into our joy, and it is just incredible. And so when I work with it, the way that I do it is I will guide you up into the heart of the divine, up into the light. We connect in with this vast multi-dimensional diamond at the heart of source, and really all you have to do is just follow my voice, follow this diamond light, hold space through it, imagine it coming into you, streaming into you. If you imagined a stream of diamond light, it's just glittering, sparkling, powerful, beautiful. And you just imagine that going into all these places, into you, activating. I will guide people through into whatever it happens to be. And we're just going to do a little mini taste of it today. But, in my classes and in my client sessions, we go really deep with it. It comes in, it goes into our deepest wounds. It unlocks stuff that's been in your energetic system that you may not have been able to get to with anything else. Like the diamond light, it can penetrate through into anything. It goes down into the darkest places within us that have been most stuck or that we have not wanted to go into. It clears core patterns, programming, belief systems, stuff we've been plugged into. It clears stuff from our timeline, from all of our lifetimes, from our ancestral line. Literally it works on a multi-dimensional level through all time, all realities, all incarnations, all aspects of our energetic system. It is literally like full swoop, like let's get this crap out. It's so beautiful because I think we can spend so much time trying to figure stuff out, like, what's the lifetime that this is stuck in? What's the belief? What's the childhood memory? And with the diamond light, we just go, okay, this is where I'm stuck. This is the stuff that's coming up. It's a particular theme or area or issue. It's like, cool, let's bring this light in, clear everything that's in your system around that. So, in one session or one class of diamond light, you can clear stuff that could take you months or even years of healing with other stuff.
Wow, yeah.
So it's really just handing it over to source. It's just like letting the divine intelligence come in. It knows what is stuck within you. It knows what is out of alignment within you. So it's really handing it over and knowing that there is this higher power that will do all the heavy lifting for us, and you just get to relax and go to this beautiful place. So let's do a lovely mini experience of the diamond light. So everybody just take a few deep breaths. just relax, ideally sitting up with your legs uncrossed and your feet connected to the floor. And just bringing your awareness into your body. And bringing your awareness into this moment. And allowing your breath to bring you deeper into the now. And letting go of anything that's going on for you. Anything you need to get done. Anything your mind is trying to figure out. Anything that's worrying or troubling you. And set all of that to one side. And bringing your full awareness into your breath, into your body, feeling the chair taking your weight, feeling yourself supported, and bringing yourself into that knowing in your heart. All is well. You are exactly where you're meant to be. You have everything within you that you need. You are already perfect, healed, whole, divine. And all that your journey needs to be is releasing anything that's out of alignment with that. Anything that may have got stuck in your system, any illusions you may have been plugged into, any beliefs you may have bought into, none of which is truly you or true for you. And as you connect in with that, just breathe. Release even more into the support that's all around you. And feeling your connection between your feet and the earth. Imagining that you have tree roots that go down from the soles of your feet, deep down, through the earth, through all the crystals and the gemstones, and down into the great crystal of light at the heart of Mother Earth, connecting you in with the light there, connecting you in with any energies and frequencies that you need, like joy, abundance, love, freedom, peace. And then you draw that light up your tree roots, drawing it up through your feet and up into your heart, and breathing in and receiving all that love from the earth, all that light. Breathing it in so deeply into your heart that it fills up and overflows. And that light flows through your body and around your aura and around your energy field, and holding you in a container of light. And you feel that heart connection with the earth. And you feel yourself held in that sphere of light. And you may feel your guides and your angels around you. You can call them in to be with you. All of the invisible support from the realms of light. You are never alone. You never have been and never will be. There's so much support for you to call on. And just let yourself be held in this love. And then hold an intention for something that you would love to be activated by the diamond light today. And just choose a frequency or an energy that you would like more of in your life. And it could be abundance, it could be joy, it could be peace, love, freedom. And just choose one. You can come back and do this again, but for now it's just that one that comes up the most in your heart. And just hold that intention from your heart to be this energy, to embody it more, to experience it more in your life. And now take your awareness up into the light and imagine that you are going high up into the universe, into the light, and you are going up into the divine, going higher and higher into the light, into higher and purer frequencies and energies, until you're coming up into the very heart of Source, the heart of the divine, the highest light. And there at the heart of Source you see a glittering, sparkling, powerful, vast, multi-dimensional diamond of light, radiating and pure. And it looks just like a diamond, multifaceted, catching the light, beaming off rainbow colors from its facets. And so incredibly bright and powerful. And this diamond light contains everything that you need on every level of your being to activate this essence within you. It knows what you need to release from your system. It knows exactly who you are, how to work with you, how to clear anything for you, how to elevate and upgrade your energy, your vibration. So when you're ready, imagine that you are stepping into the heart of that diamond. You are stepping into the core of that light, and immediately you are being flooded and saturated with this glittering pure light streaming into you. You might like to imagine it streaming down through your crown chakra or in through your heart, flowing into every cell of your body, going into those deepest places within you that are out of alignment with that energy that you wish to embody. Seeking out everything within your energetic system that is out of alignment with peace or with love or with abundance. And you just need to breathe and hold space and imagine that light beaming down and immediately beginning to dissolve and release and unlock from within your system anything out of alignment, anything that no longer serves you, anything that feels heavy, anything you're carrying around that isn't yours. You can just breathe and let it go. As this diamond light goes deeper and deeper within you, healing core wounds, releasing the heaviest energies. Going deeper and deeper, more and more of that bright, radiant light. Knowing knowing exactly where to go. And it's especially streaming down into your heart, through your heart chakra, down into any wounds that you hold in your heart. Releasing these, filling them with diamond light, replacing any heaviness you've been carrying around in your heart with that light, with that glittering, sparkling, uplifting energy. More and more of this light streaming into you, going through your chakra channel, balancing and clearing and energizing your chakras, filling them with a beautiful diamond. And every cell in your body being filled with a tiny diamond of light that holds those highest frequencies that you need. And every one of your billions, even trillions of cells are now glittering like these sparkling diamonds, transforming your entire being into diamond light. Every cell holding the frequency of who you are on a soul level. Every cell of your body anchoring in all those highest energies like abundance and love, aligning you with your source. And that diamond light goes through all of the strands of your DNA, clearing out old coding, and replacing them with new codes and frequencies of diamond light. Aligning you, recoding, rewiring you back to your truth, back to your highest essence. And all the strands of your DNA now filled with this glittering, sparkling light. And this light is going into every aspect of your being, your body, your energetic system. Just more and more waves of this light flowing through you, filling you, rewiring you, realigning you, uplifting and elevating and upgrading you into a higher vibration, a higher reality, opening you up to more magic, more abundance, more miracles. Just relax and imagine your entire being expanding and elevating and radiating this light, receiving more and more diamond light, feeling more and more old, heavy stuff simply dropping away from your system, no longer able to remain within you with all of this high frequency light. Again, just spend a few more moments receiving and feeling this light, imagining your being glittering with all these tiny diamonds, realigning you back to your source. radiating with a beautiful diamond. And that diamond anchoring in all of your divine truth. That you are safe, you are loved, you are whole, you are perfect, you are worthy. You do deserve the best. And hold that knowing in your heart. Good, and just connecting with your gratitude. Sending out thanks in advance for all the abundance and magic and miracles that are now open, that are able to flow to you, that you're able to receive. And then gently coming back down into your body, into the room, gently coming back into the chair, feeling your fingers and toes, moving them a bit. Imagine those tree roots going down into the earth, grounding and aligning you and helping you come back. And when you're ready, open your eyes. Take a deep breath, have a stretch, come fully back.
Wow, that was powerful. Oh.
It's kind of hard to come back from. It's so funny whenever I do my classes and we'll go and we'll be doing we'll be up in that diamond light for a while and it'll be going, I'd take it through people's systems, so, clearing a lot of stuff and past lives and all kinds of good stuff, and it's so funny, I'll do like a little call at the end of my class, like, hey, how's everyone doing? And there'll be like tumbleweed at the end. I'm like, okay, I should learn by now. Everyone is just blissing out in the universe. It's just the most beautiful heavenly energy, and it's the more that you work in this kind of vibration and you go up into that and you receive it, it transforms your entire being. It changes your vibration, and when your vibration changes, everything in your reality changes. And again, we get so caught up in, I have to do all this different complicated stuff, and I have to make sure I'm meditating, and I have to do all this stuff in my business, and I have to do all this stuff, and I have to do all this, it's just, whether it's in the spiritual world or the business world, there's so many shoulds and to-do lists and complicated stuff, but actually just being in this vibration and going up and connecting back into the divine and remembering that this is our true source of abundance, and we already are everything that we are seeking and wanting to be. life-changing. It's so powerful. So I feel so blessed to be able to, to do this and to connect in with this energy and take people into it. It's truly magical.
And thank you so much. I feel so much gratitude for you for sharing that with myself and everyone else that's, here listening on the journey. I could feel just the pure potential for transformation that would come from a practice like that. And it's interesting because I just went so deep, and when I was coming back, it was like I had a few seconds where I just looked at my computer like, what? I was just like, what? Wait, I still have to talk, it's like I was ready to just shut it off and lay down on the bed for a few minutes. Which I probably will do in a few minutes after we wrap up. I might just lay down for a little bit. But I feel great, but I feel whew.
Yeah, it's spacey. It's
a bit stoned right now, to be honest.
A lot of people go through my calls and things, and they'll be like, I think I'm not sure if I was no, and I'm like, that's cool. It happens for so many people.
Yeah.
It just takes you into such a high vibration space. Your conscious mind is like,
yeah,
and you really are literally in a different dimension. It's like I hold these frequencies to connect in with these higher dimensions that is so important for us to move into now. We are journeying out of the 3-dimensional world and going up into the 5th dimension, and we got to keep connecting in with that vibration and keep going up higher and let go of everything that has been locking us into limitation and illusion and 3D for so long, and just keep going up into that. So it's it really is. It really does take you into a completely different place, which is why people are just like, "Oh, where am I? What's my name? Who am I?" But it's restoring you. It's restoring you back to who you truly are, and taking you back into the vibration where you can literally create your own paradise on earth. In essence, that's kind of the frequency I hold, and it's so funny. I always cringe a little bit because I'm like, standing in my power. But I even had a healer say that to me last year. She said, I've never seen anything like this in anybody. In your heart, you hold this space. It's like paradise. It's like being in your energy. It's like going on vacation. It's and that's kind of who I am. These keys to paradise, and help people go into those frequencies where they really can create heaven on earth. And it sounds very kind of grandiose. I'm like, still,
I think it's wonderful.
To own saying that, but that's really what it is, and everyone can access that. Everyone can go on that and go into those vibrations, and it's just, whoever I am, whatever I do, I just manage to hold the space and connect people back in with that. So it's a pleasure for me to do, because it just feels to me like coming home every time I do it. So it's like, the more I get to do, it's just an absolute joy. So.
Well, I'm definitely smitten with you. I think you are so radiant, and you're definitely a soul sister for sure. We're on we're coming up to almost 2 hours, and what people don't know who are listening is that we had an hour before this just getting to know one another. So Cordelia and I are actually going on 3 hours of this really gorgeous phone call, really gorgeous connection, and I'm sure it's the first of many that we'll have, you and I, for sure.
I hope so.
I just appreciate so much this conversation. It's been so enlivening for me, and I'm definitely going to continue to seek out this diamond light work, and I hope everybody else does as well. And I'll be sharing links about how people can find your work and they can get access to this, because I just think it's so beautiful and so powerful, and you're just wonderful.
Oh, thank you. And oh my gosh, I've enjoyed this so much. We have been talking for ages. I could probably stay on for another 3 hours.
Me too, yeah. I could grab some lunch and come back again and just pick our next topic.
And just to say to everyone, when Nicole shares the links, do come and kind of jump in and get a free gift and come find me. And, I've got a lot of juicy stuff planned for the next few months and next year. So, yeah, there will be a lot of vibration shifting and magical stuff. And, oh my gosh, I have all kinds of magic and juiciness planned, and not least of all, unicorns next year. So,
yeah, of course. There's unicorns on top, the cherry on top of the sundae.
Oh my god, So, like you, and it's just a real honor for me when people come and join my community, and I just feel this really big call to really help a lot of people elevate into their light and their truth and their power and their magic and their bliss, and really remember who they are and really live from this higher level of reality and dimension. And I'm so excited. So yeah, it'll be a joy to have some wonderful new people come play.
Awesome. It's been wonderful to have you on, and I am just about to say goodbye and then go into the other room and jump for joy and say, yes, 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 oh my God.
Yay!
Yay! Do my practice. So yeah, so many thanks. Enjoy the rest of your day, and I'll speak to you soon.
Thank you so much, Nicole. Thanks, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.
So there you have it, folks. Don't forget to sign up for your bonuses today over at youryearofradicaltransformation.com/day1. So head over there or check your email that this recording came in, and make sure that you grab your bonus for today. Speak to you soon. Bye.